All right, our viewers, you are welcome to Point Blank Talk Show on News Peddlers. My name is Manoah Kikekon. With me today is Dovoeke Daniel. My brother, you are welcome to today's show. Today we'll be looking at issues ranging from Badagry, Nigeria, and the world at large. Recently, just past week, there was a 12 years old girl, Azinath Agbogunlori, who went missing from for about 3 weeks before her corpse was eventually found in an abandoned compound in the Ragon community of Badagry in Lagos State. What do you think? What do you have to say about that in relating to the concern of the people? You know, leading some people are saying that who is the next victim as a very young girl like that went missing, eventually to be found dead. Some witness that was there when she was found was saying that some of her body part were missing too. So what message is that sending to people within Badagry and its environment?
Well, I think we have equally discussed it on this show some weeks ago.
Of course.
Why the young girl was missing. And we have raised concern. So now we have not heard any official statement coming from the police or from the community people regarding or surrounding the death of that child that was now found. Now the problem is police is not a spirit, and they cannot say they have a tracker on that girl for them to now discover that the girl is in this particular location, for them to go there and just reveal that this is the dead body of the child. My suspicion is that somebody must have confessed
or giving them some
information
about the location
of the girl. So if somebody must have given them location, then there should be more thorough investigation, because the person who is dead is a little bit, more safer. Because you can no longer kill the person again. The person is dead and is dead. But those that are alive need to be conscious. You don't know who is next. Again, issues were raised that there are some missing parts of her body, which means that Azinath was murdered. She was murdered. It is not even a coup. She was definitely used for ritual purpose, which is a trend that we have been raising alarm about, especially about all these Yahoo guys,
internet fraudsters.
Yes, those fraudsters. Once they graduate into Yahoo Plus, they start using human parts and so many other things that are more dangerous to the society. So now our concerns should be that the issue should not die. We want the police to do their thorough investigation. They should reveal those behind the issue, and they should prosecute them under the law.
On the start of the matter, it was the case was at Morogbo police station, but eventually, by the time I made some findings recently, it has been moved. The case has been moved to Panti, and there's a rising concern that some of the suspects that was arrested initially has been released, and this is, some people are even saying that the case is about to be swept under carpet, but some other youths that are concerned youth are saying that there should be justice for this girl.
Yes, there must be justice, but at the same time, if you take cognizance of the fact that if issue happens, police are bound to arrest both suspects and even anyone even around the community becomes police suspects. But that does not mean that everyone is involved in the process. So if police find out that anybody within the community is still innocent after their investigation, police have the right to release that person. But then that the issue will now be swept under carpet is what we should be concerned about. That look, we do not tolerate this in our society. We don't want this kind of ritualists to continue to live within human beings, because now they have succeeded on killing this young girl. Now we don't know who the next victim might be, and we will not wait until they start getting victim all across everywhere, and until they finally get somebody who become probably a public figure that unnecessary arrest and all the rest will now start. No, they should start with this. This girl is a human being, and she should get the accorded respect that she deserves. So the police should carry out their thorough investigation and make proper arrest and prosecution. They should face the wrath of the law. It should not be released or the case should die as usual.
All right, thank you for your take about that. The situation is so much pathetic, as this girl is just a 12 years old.
Sending our condolences to our families.
Yeah, we are sending our condolences to the family of Azinath, relatives and friends. Secondly, on Badagry today, we are coming on this. I think this is an issue that we've discussed over time. Recently, we are seeing the state of roads in Badagry is becoming worse every now and then. This is still affecting the economy, is affecting the people's survival, even the development of Badagry as a whole. What do you think the government officials, do you think they are doing enough in terms of, as outside every other part of Badagry, outside the outskirts of Badagry main town or Ajara, it does not have an accessible road. When you talk about Badagry West LCD, there's not really any road over there. But Olonda, to some extent, you can say Olonda has some accessible road to some extent that connected Aradagun to the secretariat of Olonda Aziz and some other parts. But when you look at the Mo Aziz and the likes, these areas are totally cause for concern. What's your take as regards that?
Well, I think let me start from the issue of Olonda. If you are saying that Olonda has accessible road to this, it will be unfair on their part, because for the fact that they have a single route that links majority of communities does not imply that they have roads.
Yeah.
So the issue of road is entirely not something that we can write anything good about in Badagry. The road infrastructure of Badagry is entirely bad, apart from the outskirts of Ajara and Badagry itself, Badagry town itself, and a little bit of Ajara. Every other communities within the local governments, or even let me use Badagry local government itself as a case study. I am not taking cognizance of LCDs right now. I'm taking cognizance of the fact of Badagry entirely. That is what federal government recognizes as Badagry local government. That is including Badagry West and Badagry Olonda. Now, if that is established, then I think that Badagry generally does not have road. Because if we consider the fact that just Badagry town has some little roads and Ajara has little road, what about Badagry West? The entirety of that LCD does not have any accessible road. Then you go to Olonda, the only road you can still talk about is that Aradagun, Ilado road. Then come to from Mo down to Koga, they don't have any road. And if we are talking about roads, we have federal roads. Within those areas, we have state roads, and we have roads street roads that local governments can even maintain. Local government has not maintained a single road, not even grading. not to mention trying to fix any road within
Badagry as a whole. But I know Badagry as a whole because recently the road patching and road grading that happened recently, I think it will happen through the chief whip. The current chief whip did that. So we can, even before now, the road to the secretariat has been very bad. So not until the chief whip came in to do the patching through the Lagos State Public Work, and that's what we have. It's as if the
Well, but I think currently I heard that the local government is trying to fix Jara Isalu
okay,
road.
okay.
So, and we should commend the local government for doing that. But they can do more.
Okay.
They should not be looking at Ajara alone or Badagry alone. What makes up Badagry local government is beyond Ajara and Badagry itself. It Koga entirely. That is many communities that link that area, starting from Muwo, even though Muwo is not within Badagry local government. That is for, you know, if we are trying to stratify.
Okay, the Olonda, okay, the SCDS.
But starting from Kota, that is if we must have removed Atinkoro,
Yeah.
which is also part of Olonda.
Yeah.
From Kota, you know that lagoon or
That canal.
Yeah, that divide postly. That is where Badagry local government starts. So now from there downwards, we cannot point to any single road, even street route. We don't have any. Down to Koga, down to Iragbon, Iragbo, all of these areas, we don't have any accessible route. And there are street roads that the local government can fix, but the local government has entirely shied away from our responsibility, and it's not speaking too well to the favor of Badagrans. So I think we are using this medium to call on every stakeholders that they should look into roads. It is only when people are, you know, hale and hardy that they can think about, you know, trying to drive the economy. And don't forget, these roads are equally roads that can actually facilitate development in Badagry. So if people are going through terrible roads and they are dying gradually, there is no way they can, you know, come to develop the economy at large. So
it will not even encourage more people to come.
exactly. So a lot of people will still, you know, think about, let's get out of this place.
All right. Still on the electricity matter in Badagry, we are still on the electricity matter in Badagry. We are calling on the relevant offices, relevant authorities to see the need, you know, to look into the situation of Badagry as regards electricity, because this is seriously affecting the economy, the development of the people, and every area of the people's development. Because when you look at the role of electricity in human life today, it's much as important as the food we eat, the air we breathe in, and every other important part of human's activity. So what's your lastly, what do you have to say as regard this matter? And
well, I think what I have to say is that we are using this medium to call on every elected and appointed representative of Badagry.
okay,
They should look for means to, you know, summon these people in charge of electricity in Badagry.
okay,
They should summon them and ask them questions that why is it that it is deliberately they are punishing Badagrians? Why are they trying to, you know, sabotage government effort? Because if there is a problem, then we can call on government to try to fix the problem. But now there is electricity, but deliberately they don't want to, you know, allow the people to enjoy the electricity. So in this view, we want every stakeholders in Badagry to, you know, use their voice to speak to the people.
all right, thank you as regard that. Secondly, we'll be looking at the current situations in Nigeria. The federal government has came up to say he has approved 70,000 naira minimum wage for the workers, and some people are coming up to say if the government is, you know, approving 70,000 for workers. Government officials should also be able to collect 70,000 as their salary, but they are at the same time they are saying they are slashing their salaries, to cushion the effect of the economy, as they are contributing. That's their quota to your economic situation. What do you have to say as a guy?
Well, I think that the agreement reached by NLC and TUC with the federal government on the new minimum wage. We are talking about, when it comes to this, they will have to make Nigerians to understand that we are not spending dollar, but our economy is largely dependent upon dollar.
Yeah.
Now we are talking about money that is less than 70,000 naira, is less than $40. So it is shameful. Why should people work for 30 days and go home with less than $40? It doesn't make sense. $40 in 2024. So, the negotiation of NLC was unable to convince me. NLC was coming to say that, look, federal government was trying to pay 250,000 naira, but with the condition that they will increase fuel pump price. And I ask, why should the federal government try to
give such condition in the first place?
Such harsh condition to increase the minimum? If it is truly about the welfare of the people, why should they increase that money? And at the same time,
the question is, what is the percentage of workers in the country and the percentage of people, compared to the people that are not working, in terms of the people that will not be collecting that salary?
Yes, those you look at it from this angle, that what is the fate of non-governmental workers?
What is unemployed,
those who are self-employed, and non-governmental and private public liability organizations. What is the fate of traders? What is the fate of a common man who wakes up and go about how to resolve his own problem without any intervention from government? Increasing pump price is, as trying to create more hardship.
That is stating that condition is more like, first, let's just say 100% of the people are government officials, government workers that would be collecting.
Probably they have an intention to keep on giving palliative. Let me say the useless palliative the government has been giving that will not even penetrate the economy to any extent. Why should you be giving palliative that at the end of the day, once distributed, every household may not even be given a dereka of rice,
a cup of garri, a cup of beans?
It does not make any sense.
That could not even feed for a day.
And billions have been allocated. So does it make any sense? Why should government continue with reckless and illogical policies? It doesn't make sense. So if the government is truly serious about the people of Nigeria, they should not go to negotiation table with NLC, and NLC now backing down on implementing minimum wage and settling with 70,000 naira. Shows that the NLC we currently have is not too conscious about the realities of the economy. If you have a child abroad that you are sponsoring for school, and your minimum wage is 70,000 naira, less than $40, how do you pay? How do you pay such school fees when you are on a minimum wage of $40, less than $40? So it does not make any sense. The NLC showed poor performance in their negotiation skills with the federal government, probably because they have been under pressure. People have been, trying to give them a lot of backlash, and your argument about 400 and something thousand is not realistic. Yes, if 420,000 is not realistic. You can still try to do something more reasonable, not settling with 70,000 naira. At the end of the day, prices are still not coming down.
Yeah.
And now, once they implement this, you should expect
But more
that
increase in
traders
price.
will definitely increase their price to
Because
get their own minimum wage
yeah, of course.
from government workers.
Yeah.
So
Because when you look at price of things now, over times, in a couple of months' time since this administration, we've seen over 300% increment in price of goods in the market.
yes,
Don't you think
prices are skyrocketing every day?
And with the increase in salary now, we should expect more.
Yeah, of course, the end people who are not working under government, they equally want to get their own minimum wage.
Yeah.
And by that, they increase
And more
prices in
hardship
commodity,
will be
and the
unleashed.
hardship will increase. So if government is truly serious about addressing the challenges, they should look for how to solve the problem.
So what do you think the government can do?
Of course, the government should tackle insecurity. They should be serious about insecurity. You see, I've said it over time that look, the insecurity in Nigeria, is something that can be resolved if government is truly serious about it. Most of this insecurity in Nigeria, they have some
internal elements.
Yes, there are people within Nigeria who are actually fueling the insecurity, and government is trying to make a way. If people should come out publicly and make inciting statements, or people who are spoken fully in support of criminalities, bandits, and the rest, and
there's no any decisive action.
There's no decisive action taken on them. Rather, government will take harsh action on protesters. It doesn't make any sense. Or agitators, government take harsh action on them. And you look at people who threaten the existence of the state, and you will call them repentant bandits or anything. And you see the likes of Shehu Gumi will come out and make bold statements in support of terrorists who are terrorizing the state, and no action has been taken on them. So if government is really serious to tackle the current problem we have in food crisis and inflation in Nigeria, first they should tackle insecurity. If there is security, farmers will go back to farm. Majority of farmers, young farmers in the north, they are now in Lagos driving Okada. Do you know the consequence? It means that Nigeria will now have food problem that we are having. And now we still have some people who are still bold enough, who are still going to their farm. In a few years' time, if this insecurity issues is not addressed, they won't be able to go to farm again, and we'll expect more problems. Yeah. So I am advising the federal government to treat insecurity as a matter of emergency. See, one of the problem again is that you see areas that have resources, areas like Zamfara that has Kaduna, areas like the likes of Taraba and some other northern states, Borno, that have some resources that can be tapped. They are deliberately creating insurgency in those areas, mainly because they wanted to tap their resources. And if you go to every area that there are problems in Nigeria, you see foreign nationals. You see them there. Does it mean that the threat is not for them? If truly there is insecurity in those areas, why are foreign nationals going there? What are they doing there? They are tapping. You see our gold in Dubai markets. How are they getting there? Who are those responsible for selling those goods? So these are issues, these are questions that should be addressed by the federal government. First, declare war on insecurity. Treat everybody who tries to align with every criminal, every terrorist within the state, treat them like criminals. Treat them. In fact, like the former president Buhari gave an order that if anybody is seen with gun, shoot at sight. That policy was not utilized to its fullest extent. That is why you see that sometimes when they arrest bandits with gun, they say that they have been rehabilitated and they are now repentant bandits. Says who? If the president has said shoot at sight, then they should also be shot. They should have been shot dead. For carrying, you see, one thing about terrorism is that terrorists will not change. They don't repent. They have an ideology, and the ideology will always remain there. No matter the rehabilitation you try to give to them, they will try to dance to your tune temporarily, but with the intention that they will still go back to their motive once you enhance them. So you look at all of those areas that they have been saying they are getting repentant, 10,000, 15,000, different numbers every day. You still see the next month, you see issues still relating, and it is now getting bad. The police officers are equally involved, security personnel are involved because they are getting money. Where are they getting this money from? The resources they are selling from those areas are the money used in fueling this insurgency. So if they are looking at how to block cryptocurrency that they are funding terrorism, they should equally look in what the resources that are being tapped from all of these states,
and the
who are
major funds
those tapping there? Where are those funds being allocated to? Why are foreign nationals always involved in all of these areas? These are issues that should raise concern, and we should look inward into all of this and address them.
All right, thank you for your take as regard that. We will also be looking at the current situation in Nigeria. As regard the topic means I never read this. There's another thing.
Discussing and the kind of talk about peace in the southeast.
Okay.
Then
All right. Recently there was a trending discussion online as regard the release of the IPOB leader, who is Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in incarceration since the past administration, and there's people are calling for his release. And I was now thinking that if several, just as you said earlier, several terrorists in the north are being caught, they caught them and they were rehabilitated, repented, and we saw other people making bold statements in their support. But the government is not taking any decisive action. Eventually, they are taking actions against Kanu now. Don't you think? And we have seen the consequence in the southeast, where there's attack on security agencies, security officials, where the sit at home is being enforced by force and disrupting and killing people over there. Don't you think? I was now thinking that why can't the government even come up with a condition with him and look at how to stabilize the region and make peace with him, so that Nigeria can be peaceful and united?
You see, I remember the speech of the current, I think, for defense or chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Musa something, forgotten his name.
Okay.
He was trying to address the National Assembly on the essence of trying to repatriate this guy in Finland. What's his name? Simon Ekpa.
Okay.
So you see, the insecurity in Nigeria is connected to people. In the southeast, precisely, it's connected to people. Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. Now, if Nigerian government wants to deal with insecurity in the southeast, first they should release Nnamdi Kanu, and he should be able to agree with them that he's going to lose detention. Nnamdi Kanu is just like Nnamdi Azikiwe of the southeast. His popularity in the southeast, the Easterners adore him so much that they see him as somebody who is their freedom fighter and the rest. And in view of this guy, his continued detention has shifted the attention of Southeasterners to listening to Simon Ekpa. While Nnamdi Kanu was out there, Nobody is listening to Simon Ekpa. But now, Simon Ekpa is creating another insecurity, mainly because Nnamdi Kanu is under detention. So the best way to deal with Simon Ekpa and to stop his insecurity in Nigeria is first to release Nnamdi Kanu. Once Nnamdi Kanu is released and he speaks to his people, this insecurity will be down. And then the Southeast governors, they should come to realization that despite the fact that they are the governors of their individual states, they do not have the collective respect that has been accorded to Nnamdi Kanu. So they need to go and visit him. They should come out in a strong term to negotiate for his release. If the likes of terrorists in the north have been, getting rehabilitation, why should he not also get rehabilitation? And the Nigerian government should desist from the idea of treating her citizens with, two different laws, that some are more Nigerian than others. If somebody from a particular region can enjoy some benefit even as a certified criminal, and another from another region is suffering another fate, then it does not make any sense. So I think the best the Nigerian government should do is release Nnamdi Kanu, let him be the one speaking to his people directly and no longer Simon Ekpa. Once Nnamdi Kanu is released, I can assure you, the insecurity in the east is definitely going to go down. Look at the economy, everything in the southeast, even Easterners are even relocating to invest in businesses in other regions, which means that even governors who do not lend their voices to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they are equally suffering the fate of his incarceration. So it is better in their own interest, let them use their voice to throw their support behind him, negotiate with the federal government for his release, and Nnamdi Kanu should become like an ambassador for the youth. He should speak to the people. He should always try to tell them to put down their arms. And with this, Nigeria will move forward.
All right, thank you. Around the world, we are looking at US. The US election is getting closer, and we saw the assassination attempt against the former president Donald Trump. But eventually, the assassination attempt turned out to be another, blessing for Trump. What do you have to say as regard, everybody is now trying to put a white bandage on their hair to, show their support for Trump. What can you say about that?
You see, for me, Donald Trump is, let me say, the guy has a favor, a special favor from God. If not, he should have been dead by now.
Yeah.
And even in one of the recent interviews he granted, someone was asking him that he is the most popular person on earth, and he said no, that he's not. That he listened to order from his boss. And who is his boss? He said Jesus. That's the most popular person on earth. So you see that he even escaped death is an act of God. It's an act that was deliberately, because bullet is faster than the speed of sound, and for him to have escaped death, once you hear the sound of a gun, it means you are still alive. But the person that will definitely be hit will not hear the sound. That is why bullet is faster than the speed of sound. So if you look at Donald Trump from that regard, he has a special favor from God. That was why he was able to survive the assassination. And in fact, that assassination attempt has given him more popularity in the US. He is now more popular. That people are now even using his old the bandage he used on his ear. People are now using that as a style in the US, and it has become
to show their support for him.
Yes, to be sure. And even if you have seen the world richest man, he has even pledged that Elon Musk, he has pledged that he's definitely going to be supporting his campaign with $45 million, I think, every month. So this is definitely turning things around for Trump. And again, he has equally chosen a very young man, that is I think Vance.
Okay, as the vice president.
Yes, as the vice presidential candidate, and you know the Republican Party is gaining a lot of momentum in the US. And if you look at the other side, Democrats, it's like their party is, things are turning around for them. They are not getting that popularity they demanded. And even if you look at the current president, I've heard, I don't know how true, that he has currently tested positive to COVID-19. If that is true, or probably they are trying to use that as a means to, tell him to step down. I've equally heard that his family members are now trying to pressure him to step down because his health can no longer sustain him for that kind of hefty job of the United States president for another 4 years. So we are hoping that the Democratic Party too would come out under a very strong Congress to produce another presidential candidate that will come out against President Trump. But for me, I think if the current president chooses to go to election with former President Trump, well, it's going to become an easy ride for Trump. Whether people like Trump or not, they are definitely going to look at the deficiencies of Biden to vote for Trump. And Trump will definitely win the election in the US. So, in the best interest of the Democratic Party, they should look for alternative candidates and advise the president to step down.
All right, thank you for your time, for being with us on this show today. This is the Point Blank Talk Show. Stay with us as we come bring these shows up to you every Sundays at 4 p.m. Follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our other handles, we are on X, which is Twitter. We are on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you for being with us. Have a nice week ahead. God bless.